Welcome back. We are here for Trophy Gold, the Huntsman's Manor, episode 2. All right, so uh, Osto's player unfortunately had to open door for this evening. Hopefully, we'll be able to see them next time. And we'll have Sibil's player be a little bit late, but we will be introducing our new player, Billy. So, Billy, if you'd like to introduce yourself, name, pronouns, and experience with Trophy.
Yeah, my name is Billy. I use he, him pronouns. I've played in a quite a bit of trophy games between Dark and Gold. I think I'm on Mad's channel maybe once or twice. I'm on Jason Cordova's channel quite a lot for Trophy Gold. And yeah, just love trophy apparently.
Awesome. As do we all. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do, and as I was stating with the players earlier, we're going to do something a little different. And it's something that I had offered up to my previous Trophy Gold group, doing like what I would term like a mini hearth fire because they are so close to becoming completely ruined from just the first session that I want to give them a fighting chance to like survive a little bit longer. Um, and then yeah, so I'll explain like how I'm going to be running the hearth fire. It's essentially a way for you to um, kind of spend your found equipment and your hunt tokens in a certain way to be able to reduce your ruin because that is the most important thing right now for survivability. So that's kind of like what we're aiming for right now. Okay. But before that, going to introduce Billy's character in with uh, a particular little side character that is here. So we open up away from the main party, and we are finding ourselves in a clearing with a not well known pathway here to the overgrown gardens of Marquess Naral's estate. And in this clearing sits a little old woman, kind of stirring a pot with one hand, and then over a fire. And then with her other hand, she has a long pipe with a bell, uh, and and blue smoke is curling from it, and she's taking meditative puffs from it as she's stirring her soup or stew or whatever it is. And she has an eye patch over one eye, and her gnarled hands are again just either holding the pipe or stirring the soup. Her face is tan, wrinkled, and her hair is gray and white. And she's just contemplating what she sees in the pot. And next to her, or maybe across from the little fire, is someone. Um, yeah, Billy, if you can introduce your occupation, background, drive, what you look like, you know?
Yeah. So I'm playing Revel, uh, who is by the looks of him a very kind of thin like incredibly old looking man who carries a large walking stick around. He's a self-professed antiquarian, as his occupation. His background, though, is opportunistic grave robber. It's because I thought that sounded really funny together, so I took that. And his drive is to destroy the work of Agino the debauched painter. Um, so that's kind of like his little setup. I can talk about the rituals if you'd like, or the ritual that I took.
Yeah, please.
I took a single ritual called Mask. It says cover your face to remove yourself from others' senses.
Okay, interesting. Alrighty. So, with this, I think, yeah, you've been here for a little bit with this woman, and she's introduced herself as Mother Merryeye. Um, And every time she introduces herself and says her name, she always taps the eye that doesn't have the patch on it, and she smokes and stirs.
So, you seek what? Here? In the Marquess's lands? Long abandoned? Why did you
Yeah,
come here?
I think he kind of lets out a sigh. Maybe maybe he's told her this before, something like that. And he's like, "Listen, I told you I'm just here looking for treasure.
Oh.
You know about treasure, yes?"
Oh, yes, I do. I've seen the like of you. I've seen the like of others as well. And well, they seek all sorts here. I just happen to be wherever they are when it's convenient. There'll be some
Convenient indeed.
there'll be some coming soon. You can even hear them.
And then, like, I think, like, as it's been going on, it's like, we've been hearing, like, the hacking of the brush and the undergrowth, and then maybe, like, them calling out to each other. Um, Not very loudly because it was, like, indistinct. And then maybe murmuring conversation um, as they hack their way through. And yeah, I think she'll say, and you might have heard these stories before, but she'll say, it's like,
Yes, here in this long abandoned place, rumors abound of all the things you can find.
uh, Billy, go ahead and give me a roll. You can go on the dice roller and then just hit um, roll. It doesn't matter what color die that you hit.
All right, I will roll one light die.
Please.
And I got a 3.
A 3. Okay. Okay, good. Let me see. While we're waiting for Sibyl to join completely. Okay. So she gets down and, like, kind of on her haunches, like she takes the spoon out of the pot that she was stirring. Um, what does it smell like to Revel? Does it smell good, tasty, or foul? What she's making in the pot.
I Oh, it smells tasty for sure.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. And I'm sorry that I didn't describe it further. But in this clearing, like, she happens to have, like, this wagon that somehow is here. You came upon her and, like, you're just, like, completely like, all right. But her wagon is, like, chock full of things or whatever. Um, and she kind of gets down, puts her forearms on her thighs as she says to you, like, almost conspiratorially, it's like,
I have heard that hanging in a pride of place, the Marquess was said to have claimed and stuffed the head of a dragon as a trophy of one such storied hunt. Bring back that head. Pretty much more than a bag of gold, I would imagine. Unless you don't find the right collector, in which case could just as easily be cheated, but that is a rumor that is here.
Yeah, I think he's scrawling some stuff down while she's talking. He's like, "Oh, yes, 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 dragon head. Very good."
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then I think at this point, then I think the adventurers will burst through to the clearing. And again, so for Jonathan's benefit, you burst into this clearing from where Ifori was hacking through the brush. And you come to this clearing. It's overgrown as well on almost all sides. But you see this wagon full of junk. It looks like junk. This little old woman, gnarled and wrinkly, with gray and white hair, sitting with this almost equally old looking fella, and they're talking over a fire with a pot that smells absolutely delicious. So, and then she says, she kind of like raises her hand and says, "Ah, see, there more of these seekers of treasure," she says, and then she takes a few puffs on her long pipe. And so go ahead and say, each of you, what you look like as you burst into the clearing
Okay.
and see
I can go
this.
first
Yeah,
because I assume, well, Ifori is at the front,
hmm,
hacking away
right.
at these thorny vines.
Yes.
Um, so Ifori is wearing a headscarf basically, and in her hand is a hooked sickle sword, which right now she is unceremoniously using to clear a path through this dense undergrowth. She has a she am I bloodied? No. That's that's a right. Yeah, she looks a bit haughty, maybe. That's the energy she's bringing.
So she has like a snooty look on her face as she sees these two old people at the campfire.
Snooty is not the word.
Okay.
I think uh I think they have the energy of someone who likes to step on other people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you smell the food, but yet, I mean, like, again, you see um, who's in the clearing. Uh, any particular thought comes to your head when you see them?
Oh, for me? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were just everyone introducing. Okay. Yeah, Ifori sees the two people there, but also smells the food and suddenly realizes that they are hungry. Um, and will just kind of stride forward to where, because this is a fire, right? That
Yeah.
the
It's open fire, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll just like sit down at the fire. Oh, excellent. I was getting tired of being the only one who's doing any work.
Sibyl, somehow Osto has disappeared from in front of you as you burst into the clearing. Okay. So, do you look confused or do you just join Sibyl at the campfire when you see these two old people like at the open fire?
I think there's like a flicker of confusion, but it's gone very quickly. Like it's like, oh, where's Osto? And then it's like, oh, there's new people here, and it should be, you know, oh, I'm more interested in them. So, Sybil, like I think everyone sees it as Sybil cocking an eyebrow or like and turning their head slightly around and then stepping forward. And Sybil looks, how did we describe Sybil? Let me just reacquaint myself. Yeah, Sybil is I think the first thing you notice about Sybil is the smoothness of their skin and their kind of slender grace. The torchlight or the campfire light flickers over the tattoos on the side of their neck, their large earrings, and which look like buttons in their earlobes, and a slicked back hair that's cut short, like with a large knife, um, kind of messily. And Sybil's clothed in a leather gambit gamesome, sorry, which like seems appropriate for this hostile environment, and follows behind Ifori and kind of gives a small acknowledgement. I wouldn't call it a smile. Like it's fairly thin-lipped, but it's more of a token, but acknowledgement. But is scans the campfire and for anything, any food and anything else of interest.
Oh, yes, you definitely smell the pot. The smells from the pot are very tasty and delicious to everyone in their own way, I'm sure. Um, I think at this point, like as you burst through the clearing, then you realize it's starting to become nighttime here. Like it's like twilight has, like sunset has passed, and like you see streaks of purple in the sky above you, even through the canopy of this place. And yeah, this woman, yes, she will introduce herself as Mother Merryeye, and then she taps her good eye with her finger, and she says,
Yes, you are welcome here at my fire. Sit. Enjoy some repast. I have heard all stories. I have seen many treasure seekers like this one.
and she refers to Revel at the fire.
Yeah, he's still writing some stuff down, but it's, oh, hello, 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 hello.
Ah, you're also headed into the manor.
Yes, yes. The manor's supposed to have, well, all manner of treasure. And he giggles to himself.
And what can you do? What are you good at?
Well, I can look at something and tell how much somebody else will pay for it. It's very, very convenient. Trust me. I am a very wanted treasure hunter. Don't let this old face fool you. I've turned down many a party, many on my way here.
Sybil gives you a skeptical look.
I did
He,
believe
yeah.
you until you continued talking.
Well, just new friends. I figured what was the harm in being nice, but okay, thank you.
And Mother Merryeye kind of looks beyond you too.
There was someone else, wasn't there? I thought I heard 3 voices.
Oh, yes. Where did he go?
I'm sure he'll be along. If not now, then when you've left, I can send him along later, if you'd like.
And she takes a puff of her pipe.
Well, he better not have been swallowed up by the underbush already.
Well, do you need assistance? I could join you if you'd like. And he kind of holds his little walking stick up. You don't see swords or anything attached to him. He's just got this piece of wood.
Which I bet you Ifori's hook sickle sword gleams in the firelight.
Well, I don't know if we need assistance. But having another body nearby is surely not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Should
and like
dangers arise.
right when she finishes, he like slaps his leg and he's like, "Ah, it's settled then. I'll travel with you all."
But before you travel, again take a little rest. Enjoy the time that you have, however long that may be. Have you heard some of the rumors about the manor house?
No, do tell.
All right, so mechanically, can I have each of you, Ifori and Sibil, can I have you roll 1 die? Doesn't matter what color, I just need 1 die.
Sibyl leans forward, by the way, and helps herself to some stew.
Oh yeah. I mean,
If
like she's got
yeah,
some wooden
yeah,
bowls there by the
yeah,
fire,
yeah,
and then like, could
yeah, yeah.
totally take that and drink from it.
Seemingly not terribly interested in this, but keeping an ear open.
Interesting. Wow, everybody's rolling threes. Uh,
Yeah,
I
I
need to
also
roll,
rolled a
don't I?
3.
okay.
Hmm.
Is it just just one
Just
die?
one die. Yep. Doesn't matter what color. A 5. Okay. So, as I was saying to this young man, and she giggles a little bit, there is, in pride of place, the head of a dragon supposedly hanging in that manor house, a trophy of one such storied hunt that could not be believed, and yet the proof is supposedly there. And there was a beautiful crossbow, the stock of carved golden hickory, and the mechanism tooled in brass filigree. It was made to Marquess Noral's specification. It was said that the draw is so heavy and the bolts so thick that no one could notch the bow but the Marquess. He called it the Flying Wolf. That could be a wonderful treasure for a collector to purchase if you find it. And also another signature weapon supposedly resides in that manor house. It is called the Black Spear. Some believe that this blackened steel boar spear was enchanted to find the heart of its prey. A collector's item, or a worthy weapon for a warrior or a hunter. Do you hunt? This one says he does not, but I wonder if you do. In your own way.
Who is that addressed to?
Both of you.
Before it does get a glint in their eyes when they hear this spear that goes straight for the heart. And they'll nod at this lady. And this is quite useful, thank you.
Oh, I think I have something that you will all find useful.
She gets up from the fire, and you see her shuffling over to her wagon, and she kind of moves things aside. You hear her just pushing some junk over and digging in her wagon, and then she pulls out 2 jars. She looks over at Revel and's like,
This one hasn't been tested yet. But you two, you look like you've been through some issues here in the gardens.
and she will hold out these jars.
In here is something that should make you feel so much better. It is troll's blood. You can smear it on yourself as a salve. You can also drink it for the utmost potency.
And so mechanically, it will reduce 1 ruin, depending on how many of these things that you want to take. But you can only, just so you know, you can only bring down your ruin to your starting ruin. So for instance, if Sibil, if you wanted to purchase, two of these things, then you can totally bring it down back to your starting ruin, for instance. But she'll say, while this has the utmost efficacy, I do require some form of payment. You can trade something of yours for this, or you can tell me a secret, and I'll take that as payment. So, the way this is going to work mechanically is that you can trade one of your found equipment and get the troll's blood to drink and reduce one ruin, right? Or if you trade in a hunt token and tell her and like basically I'm saying like trade in a hunt token to get the troll's blood, but that is in the form of a secret. Fictionally, it's in the form of a secret. So either way, found item or a secret that you tell her, and then she'll give you the troll's blood. Okay? So what do you think?
Sibil?
Excuse me. Sibyl,
I have more than enough. Not just these two.
Sibyl's eating by the and is just kind of eyeing the troll's blood as they're eating, and you can see that the it's pretty obvious that Sibyl wants it, but is uncertain about how much and what they're willing to part with. And after a moment, Sibyl stops eating and looks at the old lady and says, and kind of like shrugs and then starts eating again. But in between mouthfuls, they say, "What kind of secret?" And
Whatever you
continues
want,
to eat.
tell me. But considering this is hunting grounds, a secret of why you are chasing this treasure, these treasures supposedly in this place. Tell me that secret, and only me, and I will give you this troll's blood. Or an item that you're willing to trade, something on your person, perhaps.
And maybe at this point when she says that, maybe like from your pack, like we hear like a beat that starts and maybe it continues onward and you're ignoring it maybe, but you hear it. And she kind of like looks around and
Oh. Interesting.
and then she just looks at you curiously.
So, decide.
And then she'll go over to you. She'll look over at you, Ifori, and say,
What about you? You look like you've taken a bit of some punishment. This will refresh you instantly. But what will you give for it?
I think while the lady has been speaking before this, Ifori is sitting there, and slowly her attention has been drawn back to Sybil's hand, which is bloodied, right?
yes, still bloodied.
Yeah. And she's just been staring all this time at it, not making a secret of it. And then like when the lady addresses them, They kind of like tear their attention away. Yes, I will partake in this troll's blood. You wish to hear a secret?
Yes. Only for my ears. You don't have to say it in front of the crowd. Would you like to come over here and tell me?
Oh, I don't think we need to make that much of a to-do. And yes, I will spend a hunt token
Great.
to bring down my rune by 1.
Okay.
Ifori will like hold out their hand for a shot of troll blood.
Um,
Secret first, but I'll give you a little sample.
and before you know it, as you're reaching out for the troll's blood, she will drop some into your palm, and you feel instantly exhilarated from it. Just from that little drop. What are you thinking about right now? What comes into your head as you get this rush?
Well, you certainly know how to do business. Here is the secret. I wish to taste. And then, actually, no, yeah. I wish to taste Sibil's blood. And then she smiles at the lady, and then she turns to Sibil and gives them a smile as well.
I mean, the Mother Merryeye is smiling too, and she, you know,
Blood for blood, secret for secret.
and she hands you the vial. Yep.
Enjoy. I don't think that will be a problem for you.
See? And then she will literally kind of like put her hand lightly on Ifori's shoulder, and then with her other hand, like, say, "See?" to you, Sibil.
See, just the minute exhilaration.
Oh,
Just a drop.
if she tries to touch Ifori will definitely smack her hand away.
Well, I mean, like, she'll kind of ignore that. She'll be like, "Okay, that's fine." But I mean, like, she will still use you as an example to Sibil, saying,
See, just from a little bit, how much more could you feel if you had the full jar?
I'm guessing Sibyl didn't hear Ifori's secret. Is that right?
No, you did.
No.
Ifori said it for everyone present to hear.
"Revel,
Did
what
you
are you
want to
thinking of
taste
this?"
Sibyl's blood?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
What
his
are
red
you
flags
wow.
are passing right by his head. He's like, "No, dude, this is cool. Whatever. Yeah, as long as I got
Yeah.
some people to go in there with me, I'm fine."
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sibyl is just staring at you now. And then kind of and is did you look away, or do you just keep there's this, I think there's this moment between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's
like
maintaining
this,
eye contact.
I think Revel, you can see like there's like electricity going past here, and
Oh, do you actually, Ifori, do you look at Sybil's hand first before you catch gaze with Sibil, or do you not look at her at their hand at all?
I think with effort, Ifori is not looking at the Sybil's hand.
Okay.
Also, oh, sorry, Jonathan. I did want to check in if that was okay, since we
yeah
have a line for cannibalism. But, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Ifori is kind of just
You
being
know,
a dick, but also, yeah.
yeah, but you're not talking. Yeah, there is a difference. You're not talking about eating her. You're talking about like just eating them. You're talking about tasting their blood. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
A
Which is,
tight
I
knit
think
group
that
of friends there is here. This is
Yeah.
very nice. How refreshing.
And she look and Mother Merryeye looks back at you, Revel, and says, "It's like,
Yes, refreshment, exactly. Food and joy.
and she
I
shakes the.
think.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it. What is Mother Merryeye
Basically,
do?
Mother Merryeye is just like, she holds up the other jar that she has, and says, and she looks at your hand, first, and before she looks back at your face, it's like,
You look like you've taken some punishment. I have more than this if you need it.
and she's shaking the jar.
Yeah, Sybil's not paying attention to Mother Merryeye at the moment. Sybil's just looking at Ifori and like and I think Sybil kind of looks at like breaks eye contact for a moment and looks down and at their hand and brings it up and like kind of inspects the cut like in front of Ifori, like is just putting it there, like almost like baiting them, like or teasing them, like, but it's not it and
You
and the
do see
cut.
those little hairs come out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The firelight is not
and
strong enough for Ifori to see them, though, just so you know.
yeah. How does Ifori react to that? Just first.
Um, okay, so this definitely feels like Sybil also being like, well, take that, right? Like there is a little bit of that energy, or a lot of that energy, maybe. Okay, then Ifori will stand up from where they were sitting, and then walk over to where Sybil is, and kind of, I think, unless Sybil was standing, it would kind of be like just looking down at Sybil. What are you offering? As in, what are you offering? I think that's a better way of phrasing it.
Oh yeah. So you're like standing over Sybil at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think Sybil puts the bowl of stew down on the ground and stands up. Um, and and um and looks at their hand again and says and notices the hairs in the cut, which is gross, by the way.
Is it growing out of the cut, or is it just there?
Growing out of
I
the
th
cut. But it
yeah,
kind of peeks out just to hint at, hey,
and
and then
retracts. Yeah,
retracts, exactly.
That is
yeah,
so gross.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Also,
Ifori hasn't seen it yet.
no, Ifari has not.
Yeah.
Which one of us is taller, by the way? Which is more interesting to you?
Oh, good question. Um, I kind of. Oh, let me look at Ifori's description. I kind of feel like Ifori is slightly taller, but
Okay.
not by much. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Sybil's like, slender, but not super tall. So like I think Sybil's kind of looking up a little bit to Ifori, um, and like under hooded eyes and like appears to be contemplating, but and says and is about to extend their hand, like, and then stops and says, "Tell me why."
Okay. Ifori will grab Sybil's wrist, the hand that's injured, if you're okay with it.
Well, Sybil will resist, but I want to hear what you like. Sybil won't let you just take it without answering the question.
Yeah.
But
And I think this is like a struggle.
yeah.
And basically what Ifori is doing is like grabbing the wrist and then pulling the hand closer to Ifori's face. And then they're just gonna press like the bloodied like palm like against her own face, against Ifori's own face, and then like slide it down and like leaving that like smear of blood on Ifori's face.
When Euphoria presses the hand, like Sybil's hand to their face, you're gonna feel something move.
I mean, am I familiar with like corruption and things like that? I was an inquisitor. I was a heretical inquisitor, so I
Yeah,
must be
yeah,
familiar with it in
yeah.
some respects, right?
Yeah, this is all fictional because otherwise I'd be pulling like ruin left and right, ruin rolls left and right. But we don't actually do that, I don't think, in gold. So
Okay,
it's fine. You're
so
good. You're fine. I mean, this is all fictional. This is all. Mm.
so unfortunately, when Ifori feels that and like makes the connection in their mind that this is some sort of corruption, they get more excited.
I love this character. Oh my god.
And
Does Sybil see that? Like, how does Sybil see that?
yeah. So I think it's like the drag, and then she'll say corrupted.
Okay.
What are you doing? Like while this is, are you still resisting?
Well, Sybil was kind of like pulling back, but wasn't kind of able to pull away.
And
And so
actually,
you
if you
felt
pull back,
resistance, like
yeah, if you,
as you felt resist. Oh, go.
oh, I was just gonna add to it, like if you pulled back, Euphoria would have stepped forward. So like to keep this
Yeah, no,
distance
I don't think
closeness.
I don't think that happened. I think it was like
Okay.
she's like I think that Sybil is just like kind of you can feel that it doesn't come gently to your face. It's you have to pull their hand like against some resistance, but you get it to their face. It's not a struggle, but it's like it just goes slowly. Like what I think what Revel and Mother and Lady Merryeye see is that the hand kind of like there's kind of like the hand moves slowly towards your face, but it's clear that there's a little bit of you know yeah resistance, and as you drag it across down your face, Sybil kind of steps closer, but then when you say corrupted, there's this kind of like Sybil's mouth kind of curdles with distaste, like, and steps back and looks and quickly sits down, um, as if the moment was kind of soured, and and um, Sybil turns their attention back to Lady Merryeye and says, "A trade it is then," and goes to the backpack
Mhm.
and opens it up and digs into it and um, pushes the heart aside and pulls out the flatware that the silver flatware that they picked up outside the greenhouse
Okay.
and hands it over to Lady Merryeye
Okay.
and shrugs.
And she will delicately, as you hand her the package of the flatware, she's going to delicately hand you the jar and say,
Ooh, the next people at my camp will have such an elegant time with these.
and then she will look you straight in the eye, Sibyl, and say,
Enjoy.
And Sibyl smirks and then takes the troll's blood and like looks it up at Ifori and drinks the troll's blood.
"Go ahead and
I did have
take
a
down, reduce by 1 ruin."
I have
Yeah.
a clarifying question, which
Yeah.
is when it's well for Sibyl,
Oh.
when Ifori pressed Sibyl's hand to her face, she pressed it very hard. Did it like to the point where it would probably hurt, on an open wound with hair coming out of it or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Did Sibyl show that on their face, like that it hurt?
Yeah, for sure. Like there was a bit of a slight grimace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a thinning of the lips and a like kind of a slight gasp.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and
like
that was definitely a
stung.
part of uh like that, and then the feel of the corruption. I think it's just, bringing up a lot of memories of
It's like a
Euphoria's
smile
past
on
job.
Ifori's face. Oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
then Mother Merryeye is going to turn to you, Revel, and say,
Such an entertaining dance, isn't it?
she takes out her pipe and like smokes like furiously, like you just see it like churning out of her pipe.
Oh yeah, you can see the camera kind of pan over to Revel when she says that, and he's like back down in his notebook, like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, these are interesting people indeed.
Story to tell the ages, yes. And you haven't even gotten to the hunt yet. Ha!
Yeah, he gives. Just imagine a really good old man cackle. I won't try to do that in my microphone, but he does that.
Awesome.
You
Oh,
are
I
well.
really want to hear this old man cackle.
I'll try to do it at some point. I don't know. At some point, it'll just pop out, I'm sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, she invites you to stay. I mean, like, as night has fallen, and you probably don't want to be traipsing around this overgrown wilderness, for too long in the dark. So she welcomes you to stay at her campsite, and then she tells you it's like,
Be heading off again in the morning, but I'm sure that we will meet again, provided you come out and survive. For now, rest. Take heart. Steel yourself for what will come.
and she'll look at you, Sibyl, and say,
There was fleeting joy in that jar. If you need a little bit more, let me know. A secret or an item? Fair trade.
and so you can like settle down for the night. If you want to talk to each other, or some other kind of role play or whatever, like, I'm perfectly happy to see you guys do that. But yeah, you know and I think overhead there will be like the dark sky of stars that you don't necessarily recognize in patterns that aren't familiar. And then you'll hear, like, in the underbrush, furtive moving. Not necessarily wild animals, but yet they are. And there's this sound of growing. Like the branches or the trees or the vines, doing a slow creep into the clearing. But, yeah. Night passes, and do you all wake at the same time, or do you think someone wakes first for some weird reason? Osto has not returned, or has not joined you when morning comes.
I think that maybe Revel had an easier time of it based on what I'm hearing than these two have, or the other three. So he's sleeping. He is like old man asleep, you know what I mean? Like it's loud.
Awesome.
I think that would probably wake Sibyl up. Like if Revel's story, like we hear this
Right.
and
Yeah.
Sibyl kind of like shakes awake, like, and just kind of like looks for a moment like they don't know where they are,
Mhm.
and then sees Revel and rolling over or something, and Sybil just glares at his back, and then turns and is the fire still lit or is it gone
Yeah,
out?
like
Yeah.
no, it hasn't gone out completely. It's like it's been kind of banked into some embers, and
Mm.
it looks like it was recently stirred, so this way it stays alight a little bit. Like maybe a few more branches or dried stuffs have been added to it just to kind of keep it going just a little bit to give at least a dim circle of light for the surroundings. So, but you
Because
still
I'm
when
guessing it's not daylight yet. I'm guessing
no
it's like
no
no.
no again you see the strange dark sky with unfamiliar constellations and such overhead. Um, you hear like rustling, but again, no idea of like where it's coming from and what it is.
Sybil ignores that and rolls over and turns to look at Ifori.
Yeah, Ifori is doing the classic thing that always that they always do in shows where she's sitting and like or she's like leaning against I don't know a tree stump or
Mm-hmm.
something
Yeah, yeah.
and then with her sword at the ready and like her head is like drooping but then when when Sybil looks over at Ifori they immediately look up to meet Sybil's eyes.
Do you
Um, yeah, no, go for it.
do you acknowledge that in any way?
I think Sybil kind of gives Euphoria a questioning look, like, um, and sits up, like wipes the sleep from their eyes, um, and asks, has Oster come back?
No, and none of those infernal vermin.
Yeah, Sybil doesn't look unhappy that the vermin aren't there. Um, although that reminds her and it reminds them, and they rummage in their backpack and pull out this small cage, and inside you can hear the squeaking, and see the rats in the cage, and Sybil puts it on the ground and pulls out some cheese from the edge of their backpack, um, and feeds it to them, um, and says, "Did did the old lady leave any food?"
You see like beyond Revel and his snoring. You see this
What's
strange
that? I can't hear.
The stray, right, exactly. It's like, wait, what did you say? You see this strange pile of rags and clothing or cloth, and then like, when you're asking about the food, like first, this is very weird. First you see like one arm crook out of the pile, and then you see like the raising of like hair, the gray and white hair, and then unnaturally like you see her head turn towards you, like in this while the rest of her remains in this weird pile, and she just says,
There's always food if you are hungry.
and you see the pot on the fire, and then you start smelling that tasty bubbling again, almost as if it responded to what you said.
Well, I'm glad I'm asleep.
I'm so tempted for Ifori to throw a rock, like a pebble, at Revel.
I'll do
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't blame you for that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe Ifori will.
Yeah,
Just like
Wooden bowls are
lick it.
stacked next to the campfire pot, like as if you had gotten there again. So if you want to eat, Sibil, you can, and then if you want to throw a rock at Revel.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think as Sibil goes to get a bowl, like Ifori.
yeah, I'll flick a pebble.
Yeah, he's like, hmm? Yes, and he'll sit up like he was. Oh, I was already awake. You know what I mean? And he's
And
like,
you
goes to
smell
grab
it.
his backpack. His
you, you smell the tasty smell from the pot again of the soup stew that was made the night before, fresh as it was when you got there.
It's like, oh, breakfast already. And he gets up, and his eyes are like actually they look closed to you, but he's just walking, and he goes and sits next to the fire, and he starts eating, but you really haven't seen him open his eyes.
So powerful. I wish I could be like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like stumbling through life for like 90 years straight is how I imagined it.
Oh wow,
He just
amazing.
like, he just kind of does something and he hasn't died yet. But, trophy.
Trophy. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how desperate Revel is. Absolutely. And actually, I have a question for you before we go a little bit onward. Um, as you're waking up and then you're just contemplating your new companions, what did Ajino do to you that you want to destroy his work?
Um, I think he so he kind of got into this, like I said, he's a self-professed antiquarian. He really just takes shit from dead people, and those are antiques. That's what he does. Uh, but I think he's only heard stories, and it's like, oh, all these, maybe, these rich people, these things are so sought after, these paintings. And so he's like, all I'm gonna do is I'm the guy that's supposed to be like, ah, yes, this is a real and original. And then he wants to destroy them, basically to say fuck you to rich people that own them, basically. Because he's been poor for like his entire life, and he's old. He's very old. So he's like, I'm trying to find these paintings just to destroy them, just because those rich people don't need them anymore.
Amazing. Well, that takes a little bit of coin to get into those wonderful halls of gallery and such, so why not? Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So before we move into the next set and full daybreak, let's go ahead and take our first break. This one will be 5 minutes since we were kind of faffing around a little bit. So 5 minutes, and then we're back at the whatever mark it is. Never mind. I can do math. 22 mark? Yeah, sounds good. All right, see you then. Boom. Okay, so full daybreak. Somehow, in the middle of the night, or during the night, the scenery has shifted. Gone is the place where you had broken through the brush, but then again, you could have been completely mistaken because you were disoriented during the darkness at nighttime. And you see a clearer path to a stone archway that serves as an entrance closer to the manor. And the Mother Merryeye is completely awake, stirring at the pot, smoking her pipe, and she says,
It's about time that I get moving. If you want any last of the stew, here it is for you, to fortify you on your way. You don't want to be hungry when you go in there.
and she says that with all seriousness, like, there's no joking about that at all. So she offers you some more stew if you want it, and then she'll look at you, Sibil, and say,
Still looking rough around the edges. Are you sure you don't want another hit of troll's blood? A secret or an item? Small price to pay, really.
Sibyl has a long think and shakes their head. But says, I will still have some more of that stew though.
Of
Thank you.
course.
Yep. The wooden bowls are right there for you to partake, just as clean as when you came into the clearing. If anybody else wants to partake, you can totally do so. She has, while you guys are eating, then she's like, packing up her wagon. You don't see any discernible way that she's going to bring that out. I mean, it has like, a couple of wheels. It's like wheelbarrow-esque and stuff, but you don't see a discernible, I mean, aside from maybe she's doing it, but, it's kind of, considering how high it's piled, you're kind of like, is she gonna do this by herself? Only you can say if you stay to find out. I mean, it's fine. And she just points at the archway and says,
That way, closer to your goal. I don't know if it'll help, but I wish you good luck.
So Mads, you mentioned that we could pull our hunt tokens to try and reach our goal here.
well, I mean,
Is
like,
that something we could do?
well, I'm considering that, like, you guys have gone through this little interlude of the mini hearthfire. It's like, this is the beginning of the next set.
Oh,
And
okay. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
gotcha.
The archway will lead you to the hedge maze. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you three find yourselves at the front of this stone archway to the hedge maze. It's an entrance to this maze, almost completely covered in vines and overgrowth from the hedges. Just inside, the once perfectly shaped hedges have turned feral. The maze can still be navigated, but only just. Your set goal for this particular set is to reach the center of the maze. Okay? So reach the center of the maze. And the way to find out about the world, explore it, is to do hunt rolls. You may come into trouble, in which case risk rolls or combat rolls, whatever is required. And you can choose to pool 3 hunt tokens among you to just solve it and get to the next bit, to the next set. Okay? All right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the first thing Revel's gonna do is he wants to like, even though it's choked by vines, he kind of wants to see if there's any inlays or like
Mm-hmm.
words written on the archway or anything like that.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So first die roll. Uh, you're going to ask questions about the world, so that's your first light die. Second light die is if you have a skill, piece of equipment, or your occupation determines that you can do this.
Hmm. I mean, it really depends on if something's written on there. Because I have artifacts and myths, antiquarian.
Yeah,
If I'm just,
I'll take it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
If the
fine.
GM says yes, then hell yeah, I'll take that.
Hell
That
yeah.
sounds good to me.
2 light die on the hunt roll, please.
Sweet. That's a 4.
Okay, so you get a token, but you encounter something
But at least I
terrible.
get a token. At least
You
I
get
get a
a
token.
token. Right, right, right. And again, just as a reminder, it's like at any point you can trade in your token for something that you find as a treasure, as a found item. Okay, um, and there's always the risk of you rolling a 1 and then you lose all of your tokens. So just be aware of that. Okay, so let me give you the what you find first, and I'll give you something terrible once I clear what everybody else is doing. So, um, I think as you're looking through this archway, like, like through the vines, clearing it off, maybe poking at it with your walking stick and such, you will see like symbols on this archway that almost seem like a guide. You see symbols that look like a statue that's broken and a gazebo, and then something that looks like an open circular area that could very well be a center of something. This very maze, even. So, um, this is what you do see on the archway. And yeah, let me see what the others are doing first before I give you something terrible. Okay. So, Ifori, Sibil, what are you doing as Revel is checking out the. Okay. What do you think you guys are doing?
Sybil, do you have an idea?
Not yet.
Okay. What Ifori is doing, she sees that it's a hedge maze
Mm-hmm.
and immediately is like, I gotta climb this thing. I need to see over the top of it.
Okay.
So she's gonna try to climb to the top of the closest hedge tree,
Mm-hmm.
and then look out to see the pattern.
All right, so we'll call that exploring the world. However, I'm going to say that, that is kind of risky because these hedges are, again, as described earlier, feral. So, not just like wild and whatever, but there's sharp, pointy things growing within the hedges for sure. So, let's build the risk roll. All right. Before you try something risky, what could go wrong? You fall through and get injured. That's one. Anybody else have any ideas of what else could go wrong to Euphoria? This is
Something could see Ifori from a distance that she might not want them to see.
Mhm.
I run into another one of my exes.
Yeah.
Maybe again as a corpse. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know if that seems like a pleasure for her for them. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, it's she, they, so her is also right.
okay, but I mean, again, it seems like a pleasure for them. So
No, she was unhappy that they died.
oh,
She
but
wasn't the
not by
one to
her
kill
hand.
them. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly, exactly. Okay. Anyway,
It's
uh,
very rude.
Revel anything for the go wrong, or you're waiting for Devil's Bargain.
Oh, I'm waiting for devil's bargains.
Okay, okay. All right. So take a light die if this is something you are skilled at because of your occupation, your background, or a useful piece of equipment. What do you think?
Strength? Climb
Perfect.
it up.
Yeah.
I'm strong.
Yeah, you're strong. Okay. And then dark die if you're going to risk your mind or body. Definitely body because of all the bad things that could happen trying to climb this thing. Now, light die. Second light die for accepting a devil's bargain. Remember, you always preface this with no matter what. Doesn't matter what the die roll is. This will happen no matter what. So what do we think will happen with Ifori?
Well, seeing as there's a dark die, can Sibyl offer to help?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Offer to help. This is the first time we're using it, so let's go through the rules. When another player is making a risk roll that includes at least one dark die, yep, you may offer to help either before or after they roll. Okay. If well, you have to say how you're vulnerable when you help, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
if the player accepts your offer, say how you expose yourself to danger, and then you would roll a light die as a helper,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then this light die could be used for Ifori's roll.
Okay, so I'll hold off then. I'll wait and see
Okay.
how how um how you roll, Agatha, and then offer to help. Maybe you get stuck or something.
Oh, we'll see. All right. So Devil's Bargains. Sorry. Devil's Bargains.
Do you how about no matter what, you whether you get up and see the place or not, um, it reacts to you in some way. Like maybe the maze itself shifts or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Remind me again, and I'm sorry because it's like I was watching in pieces, so I didn't catch everything. What is the toll for the Emerald Bridge?
Hmm. The toll for the Emerald Bridge uh is uh the soul of let's say 100 unrepentant. Or I guess the toll is 100 unrepentant souls.
Okay. For you to take their soul when you're in your quest, like being a
Yeah.
heretic and all. Okay.
Though, I mean, technically, I'm not taking them because I'm paying them as a toll. But yes.
Ah. Okay. Got it. Okay. I think I think as you're climbing the hedge, you're going to see one of these people whose soul you know is completely unrepentant, and you're seeing them in the hedge, and they look at you with sly glee that you aren't able to get to them. They're just out of reach.
Is that a devil's bargain?
That is a devil's bargain. Yes, you will see one of these unrepentant souls that is just out of reach.
Yeah, I dig that. I'll take it.
Oh, Revel, did you have a devil's bargain you wanted to offer?
Oh, mine was that it like shifts
Oh,
the head
shifts.
shifts in some way
Right. Okay.
or
And then
reacts.
right. And then Sibyl, did you have a devil's bargain you wanted to offer?
Um, I was thinking that regardless of what happens, you have to make a risk roll to get back down.
No.
So
Okay, okay. But you will take the one with the unrepentant soul that is beyond your reach. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
I want to
doing?
be tempted.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Tempted it is. Okay, so 2 light, 1 dark on your risk roll, climbing
Okay.
this hedge. 5 dark. Okay, higher
Oh,
than
so
your
the
room.
dark takes precedence?
Yes, in any matches, the dark die is always considered higher. Sorry. So if this is higher than your ruin goes up by 1.
Well,
Nuts. Okay, so as you're climbing this hedge, and you do see your unrepentant soul tempting you, like looking like really sly and happy that they're doing so, what do you see, sense, or envision that brings you closer to being lost to the environment?
um, I feel like it is this unrepentant soul, right?
Hmm.
And the reason why I know that they fit that criteria perfectly is because I did know this person.
Oh.
Um, okay, they have a sly glee, so who do I know that would have that kind of energy? Um, I think it's my brother.
Mm.
And the fact that my brother is here and basically taunting me is how I feel. That is bringing me closer to ruin, to the forest.
Okay. Your condition is unrepentant sibling.
So, okay.
You can even add to that saying unrepentant, tempting sibling, or taunting. Taunting. That's what I meant to say.
Taunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taunting. Taunting me.
Yes, exactly. It's like you can't get me.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I see them and I guess I would like oh, I have glass marbles. I guess I could have spent one of those to flick it at Revel last night.
I mean, you really wanted to, sure, but what was I gonna say?
Yeah, I
You do succeed. You do succeed climbing the hedge. I will say, you just
yeah,
see the temptation of your sibling, like like looking at you, maybe on a like the opposite side, like further along, like beyond that particular hedge, and like
yeah.
just out of reach.
Yeah, and there's that moment where Ifori's face just twists with rage.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
that he is here and he is not close enough.
Nope. No,
And
he's
he knows
not.
that.
Do you mumble to yourself when you see this? When you get that rictus of
I might say his
piss?
name. Name. Let's see. Theoden? Yeah,
Theoden? Okay. Sure.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's.
I just like grit that out.
Yeah. And you two hear it, like when they're up there, when Ifori's up there on the hedge. How do you react?
I
Oh,
think
oh, okay.
I think Sibyl calls out, um, do you need some help?
No, I'm fine. And I will then pull myself up and look over
Mhm.
the canopy. Do I need to make another roll then?
If you want to do a hunt roll because it's like you have a better vantage point, you totally can.
Yeah, I think
And then I want to see what
so.
Sybil's doing. Okay.
Oh, right now or after my hunt roll?
Let's do because I still have to give Revel something terrible. So let's do
True.
Sybil first, and then
Okay.
like we'll go through the whole thing. Okay. So Sybil, what are you doing as you're after you ask uh Ifori if
Well,
she needs help?
well, Sybil sighs in frustration and disappointment, but like doesn't looks out in, into the maze and then looks back at Revel and is says, "Find anything interesting?"
And he can't reach too high, but he's kind of brushing stuff away. He's like, yes, it looks like there's some kind of key to the maze. Look. And he like waves you over.
And Sybil will have a look at it and see if they can make sense of it. Um, is it? Could we do a hunt roll to try and make sense of
Mm-hmm.
of the um of the symbols or the
Sure.
key? Or has Revel hasn't has Revel deciphered them yet, or
No, I
not
think
yet?
I kind of maybe cleared it if we want to say that. I have so you said Mads, you said like gazebo and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
icons. Is that
Yeah.
anything that they've come across, or is that all stuff that'll be inside this?
It'll be
Like,
stuff that's inside the maze itself.
oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, if you want to take a look at it, maybe you'll be able to glean something more. I'm just the value guy. Maybe you'll have something more to see.
Yeah, well, I have experience at breaking into places and things and layouts, so um maybe I can maybe it can make some sense to me.
Sure. Go for it. Okay, so again, you're asking questions about it, like, I'm trying to make some sense out of what you saw, as well
Yeah.
as now you're trying to figure out like what kind of skill you have with your occupation background or a piece of equipment to help you with this. I think.
I think it's with my occupation
Okay.
as or my occupation as a lockpick, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I think breaking into places I've I'm familiar with layouts and maps and trying to, you know, solve problems of entry. So I
Yeah.
I think that's the lens through which they're viewing this.
Okay.
Like, is this a key to for me to be
Sure.
able to get
Yeah.
inside?
Yeah. Go ahead. Two, two dice on the hunt roll, please.
Okay, let's do it. Oof,
Oh,
that's
jeez.
not good.
No, encounter something terrible. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I still owe Revel something terrible as well. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you find something. All right. So you know what? I think terrible. Three and four. Hmm.
Mads, maybe Sybil sees something in these symbols that frightens them.
Okay. Fair. What do we think that Sybil sees? Because, as I said before, I mean, like the symbols, signify a broken statue, a
Hmm.
gazebo, and then something that looks like an open circular area that could be the center. You know, what do you see?
I think that Sybil interprets this as like as a trap. Um, that that perhaps there is, and you can tell me if this orientation isn't right, but the
Mhm.
way that the order of the symbols makes it look like the broken statue is in the center of this circular area with the gazebo kind of facing, and it strikes them that it's almost like a viewing point onto where this arena or this area where people will be brought to ruin. And this is like as if something is watching suffering happen on purpose, in deliberate design. And that this maze, and right or wrong, Sibyl thinks that that's the purpose of this maze. That if we that it is designed to bring people to suffer for the entertainment of something that's here. And
Your condition is center of suffering.
okay.
And Revel, I mean, like, you're just taking notes on these things. You're just seeing these as like, ooh, it's like runes, or these are like kind of like pictographs that we've seen on in other, sources of knowledge and such. But I think you do see something terrible in it as well. Not in the same way that Sybil did, in terms of that kind of depth. But I think you're encountering something terrible is. What do you see in these symbols that make you believe that there is at least one work of Agenor the debauched painter here?
Um, yeah. The the broken statue, I think, it's broken in such a way that seems to reference one of his works, if that makes sense. I'll keep it vague so you can do whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the way the statue is cracked or broken into multiple pieces. I know what to look out for at this guy's work, so I recognize that breaking pattern.
Yep. Yep. Even he has worked here. Even he has done something for this place, even though it's more than a century old. Yeah, something. How dare he? How dare he make something for yet another patron? Your condition is how dare he?
What a great condition, by the way.
Ifori. Well, actually, like let's go back in order. So Revel, what do you what like after seeing this, possibly being outraged, what do you do? What do you do with this information? What are you trying to do getting further in this maze?
Um,
By the way, Sybil says that they can't make any sense of it. Like,
oh, okay, okay.
With a
That's
look on your
yeah.
face that's like completely
Yeah.
ironic.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
That kind of works.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ah, damn it, damn him," and he kind of spits on the ground like right in front of this spot. And then you just watch as this old guy you just met, he just starts like hobbling just right into the maze. He'll just start like walking in there.
Nice, nice, nice. Sybil, do you follow?
Not at first. Like Revel gets a little bit of way in, and maybe like I don't know if there's a corner immediately. And if there is, then it's not until Revel disappears from view that Sybil's it's like, wait, and then starts to follow after.
Sybil, the sound of rustling comes from behind you. The path turns to the right. But didn't you come from the left?
I turn around Can I see anything?
It's almost like something has closed up behind you. But now you're not sure because you turned to look
Right.
for Revel and then you turned again. Don't know. Ifori, from your vantage point, it's like you see Revel like just almost dashing with his cane, like
Yeah. In
propelling him
quotation
in.
marks,
Well,
dashing.
right. For Revel, yeah. You know, the old man shuffle, whatever it is, it's really
Oh yeah,
quick.
he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. And you see him like just delve right into the maze, and Sibil hesitantly following, before she's behind a different corner somehow, from your vantage point. So do
Okay.
you want to do you want to do a hunt roll at this point, and then possibly direct them from here?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
would like to do that.
Okay. So yeah, just ask, like, kind of get your bearings or whatever you want to specifically ask about the maze, and then do you have a skill from your occupation or background, or a piece of equipment that can help you?
Let me see. Trails.
Perfect. Okay. Two die, two dice on the hunt roll, please.
Oh, that's a
Ah,
6.
okay. All right. So you get a pretty decent vantage point from where you are, perched at the top of the hedge. Um, I'm gonna say that, like, if you want, you could kind of direct them from where you are, because you have a pretty decent idea, or you could jump down and then catch up to whomever is nearest you and then direct them that way. But you do get a token. Conceivably, that could be handed in again to for something that you find in the maze.
Oh yeah, I'll trade it. I'll trade it
Okay.
for a
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Alrighty. So I think you'll be able to see the first thing that you see is the broken statue. Um, from your vantage point, and you'll see that it's supposed to be a stone statue of a rearing elk. It's very moss covered, but the head of it and the antlers are shattered on the ground. But what you can see from your vantage point, even from that distance, is that the two eyes of the statue are large, flawed emeralds. So, if you head over there, well, let's just say, like, you see it and you head over there. Uh, you can take the two large flawed emeralds for 1 gold. Yeah. Do you direct your
Yeah.
companions over there?
Um, sure. I'll direct them and then I'll drop down
Okay.
to catch up to, I think, Sibil, right? Because Sibil is not where Revel is, but I hope that I can call out loud enough for both of them to hear, so
Yeah.
that we might have more PC interactions
Okay.
if we want.
Yeah. So maybe Revel, from behind you, you hear Ifori call out to direct you over to that particular part of the hedge maze, to the
Yeah.
broken statue space. And that's what you see. The rearing elk with the head and the antlers shattered on the ground. But she goes over to take something from the head, and then, yeah. So you are in this particular part of the hedge maze.
I also have a question.
Yeah,
Do I see a clear path to my brother?
that's a different question.
Okay.
Because remember, you was just out of reach when you were up on the hedge. So if you want to make that a question, you can. You have to do a hunt roll for it, though.
I would. Yes. That would be the next thing that I want to do, but
Okay. Let's do Sibyl. So if Ifori jumps down to join you first, um, yeah, and then directs you to the broken statue um, clearing, what do you do?
And I see Ifori take the emeralds. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sybil kind of seems more on edge. Like Sybil, we talked about before how Sybil had like for all their delicate features had a hard cast to their face,
Mm-hmm.
and they're fairly severe look and not easily daunted, as I think we've seen. But um, Sybil is kind of looking around, and am I correct in thinking, Mads, that this is like it's is this does this seem like the center of the maze, or is
No,
this
not yet.
no? It's just like kind of an opening
An
inside the
opening,
maze.
right, with
Yeah.
this statue in it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's ringed with like hedge with a couple of entrance or exits, like,
Yeah.
openings where you
But
can
it's like
go.
it's very zigzaggy because of the way the hedges have grown in on each other or
Right.
overgrown, and then there's brambles running through it, so it's really
Yeah,
dangerous too.
it's not perfectly manicured or anything. This is
No,
this is kind
no.
of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we can see, I think Sybil kind of can see some of the thorns,
Mhm.
on in the brambles, and um, kind of looks down at their hand again, which was pierced by a thorn in the previous episode, and looks around clearly, and it's clear, especially to Ifori, who's kind of like been in Sybil's company for a little while now. But I think even Revel can sense that Sybil is spooked. Like Sybil is looking around and um, does not seem happy to be here, and says as much. Like Sybil says, I don't like this place. We have to move on. And looks to their fellows to see if they're ready to move or not.
And I will point out
Sybil looks
again.
ready to bolt.
I will point out again. You can pool 3 hunt tokens between you and solve the set. Get to the center of the maze.
I'm curious about what Revel does.
Um, I mean, if this is kind of the statue that the thing alluded to out there, then he's going to walk over and like very, very closely inspect it. Maybe without really acknowledging. I mean, maybe he nods at Sybil, like he doesn't want to be here either. He just kind of got pissed off and lost himself in the moment. Um, but he's like, is this the thing I'm looking for? So he wants to look at all facets of this thing, like even where it's pointing, or just different stuff like that, like the angles that are used, the cracks in it, etc.
And I think as Revel's looking at it and inspecting it, Sybil's kind of like Sybil says, "Didn't you hear me?"
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
look and turns to Ifori and says, "Could you see a way? Could you see a way out?"
Wait, did Revel have any
Yeah.
response before
Oh
I?
yeah. He's like he kind of grumbles, like like old guys do, and he's like, yes, yes, one moment, and then he goes and he's like poking at we'll leave in just a minute.
He's obsessed with the statue because of his grudge against Tajino the painter. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Ifori will see this kind of and like hear the edge to Sybil's voice and demeanor. And oh, I don't know if you can hear my cat. Okay. They are crying for food. But that's okay, they can wait. Um uh and we'll walk a bit closer to Sibyl. What is it? What did you see while I was
This place, it's a trap. We we need to leave. We need to find the manor.
Yes, we need to get to the center of the maze. That's where the manor
Did you
is.
did you see the path?
Mads, did I? I guess not quite, eh? Because
Well, I mean, you did, but from a vantage point of like, you, as long as you got a 6. So, I mean, like, I'll say that you kind of like have it somewhat memorized, but you have to go through the broken statue clearing. You have to go to the gazebo, and then you will, like, from there it will lead you to the center.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Then um what I'll say is yes. And then I'll crouch down and then like maybe just in the dirt uh like make a rough sketch of what I saw. Um, and and then like from where I'm crouching like look up at Sibyl. This is the path that I saw, but that doesn't mean that I won't change.
Okay. Well, come on, let's get going and take the old man with us.
The old man is busy.
Just one moment. I'll be done in a minute.
You need to
I think
relax.
Let's go ahead and take a short break. So another 5 minutes. So this way,
Oh,
do stuff.
sorry, I'm gonna need a 10
Okay,
for
10.
for
We'll take
feeding the
10.
cats.
That's fine. All right. So take 10, and then we'll come back to this and see what you want to do, where you want to go. Okay. All right.
Great, thank
10
you.
minutes at the 15-minute mark. Yeah. All right. See you then. Okay. So let's rejoin Revel at the statue. As you're taking this in, again, it's like, you can see that the elk positioning and lines, just resemble Ageno's work really well. Maybe it's a little bit off to, like, splayed out in not a natural position, right? Um, what unsettles you about looking at his work, even as broken as this particular one is?
I think that it's like I don't know the way the shapes are made.
Hmm.
It's just, very it's almost like a cosmic fear, if that makes sense. I don't ever like using the term Lovecraftian or anything like that. But I just say cosmic instead. So that's what I'm going for. There's something about it that just makes you want to stare at it and stare at it and stare at it.
Okay. Even though you don't want to. And I'm going to say that perhaps uh, the recesses where Ifori had gotten the emeralds from, they stare back at you. They are deeper than you would have suspected to house just 2 emeralds. So, yeah, while Sybil's kind of like stuck still in dread and fear, what are you two doing?
Yeah, he kind of climbs off the statue in a huff, very out of breath, and puts his little stick up next to him. I'm assuming he just kind of left it on the ground, so he picks it up and he's like, let's move on. Let's move on. And then he turns around and he'll spit at the statue.
Um, I'm well, what I'm doing is I'm looking for a path
Okay.
to my brother.
Okay. Wait, to your brother?
My brother. Yes.
Okay. 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 Um, yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for it because I mean, like, you've already established that you've like seen a path through, which may be taking you in the same direction as like the other things that are here. And so, on to the next thing. I think as you're leaving this particular part, you'll see that the brambles have grown overhead through the hedges and kind of interconnecting with each other, and they're creating this tunnel effect. And then you realize that like it feels damper here. As you walk through, you feel drips on your person. And you can sort of see from high above that there are these little tiny droplets of sap, thin sap that drips from the thorns above.
Is this me or
I mean,
all of us?
if you've gone ahead and they've followed you, we can say
Y-
that Sybil's kind of like, fearful and sticking with one of you quite tightly, right?
Yeah, I assume Ifori. But if they're both going that way, no way this old guy's gonna get left behind. I'm following you.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Before you will glance up and then pull their headscarf a bit further down.
Hmm.
Is there like a smell to them, or are they doing anything when they drop on
Uh,
us?
again, it's thin sap where it's not like maple syrup or anything like that. Um, but maybe there's a particular scent here with the sap. It's kind of like musky, like quite animalistic, I guess. Like as if it's trapped the scent of all these wild animals that have gone through the hedge, and it's like it's like dripping their sweat. I don't know. I mean, like it's just like it's like a very musky smell that you smell here.
Yeah. I wrinkle my eyebrows and press on.
I think it opens up into the space of the gazebo. At the intersection of two paths is a large circular lawn. And I will say that when you first entered the hedge maze, it didn't look this big. Even when you got up on the hedge initially, Ifori, it did not look this big at all. But yes, it is a large circular lawn. But taking up most of this space is a white gazebo. But the white is streaked and faded and tinged a little green from moss stains. And within the gazebo is a small bench, just wide enough for two people to sit together.
Is my brother around?
I think, do I do this to you? Let's see. I think maybe you hear like more of that rustling in the hedges. And maybe you hear a familiar laugh mocking you.
I mean, I'm chasing after him.
Do you even say anything to your companions, or you just like you just run?
I do say Theoden again and then take off. But I don't think I explain to the others what I'm doing.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. Okay, Revel, I think you're there in the gazebo, perhaps, like with Sibil, who still looks very shocked, shell shocked, and worried. What do you do as you see like
Um,
Euphoria like tearing off
yeah.
to
Be like,
one of the hedges?
Teodan, is that the companion that left you behind? Anyway, I won't be able to catch her. Um, and not speaking for Sibyl. Um, yeah, just like this is obviously a staple here, so he'd want to kind of look around it. He's not as enthralled as he is in the statue, but this is here for some reason. Maybe there's like a little plaque somewhere that says some old couple purchased it for this hedge maze. Who knows? So he's gonna take a look around for some dedications or anything.
Oh, sure. Okay, great. This would definitely be a hunt roll. Gazebo. Okay, hunt roll. You're asking about the about the world, so like you want to see if there's any kind of dedication, something identifying this thing. What kind of skill or from your occupation or background or useful equipment are you using to help you find this?
I don't think it would if there's some kind of dedication, unless it was hidden. I could see like obfuscation or something. Like I know where to look
Mm-hmm,
for
mm-hmm.
like little hidden doohickeys.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean maybe that.
Okay.
I don't think anything else really fits.
Okay. Alrighty. So go ahead and roll 2 dice on the hunt.
That is a 5.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So you do find something. Well, yeah, you get a token for it. So, and I guess I will remind you yet again, there is a roll that will take away all your tokens if you're not careful. So trade them in anytime for something, something that you find, or solve the set. You know what I mean? It's like three tokens is all you need. But anyway, I mean, I'm sure you want some gold or something to sell for gold. Anyway, you've got token, encounter something terrible. See, it's a 5. It doesn't like. It's not horrible though. You know what I mean? It's like it's just kind of like something weird that you see, but not enough to incur a ruin roll. Um, I'm just gonna keep on. I'm just gonna keep on digging at you, right? So I think you find as you're hunting around um, through this gazebo, like trying to just kind of like the lines of it, like the kind of like the artistry of it and such and so forth. I think you're going to find another mark by Agino. This is again one of his works, but it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and it's standing right here, looking pristine, except for the stains, of course, because of age and growth and such. How do you feel about this?
Um, it's just like a wooden gazebo. Like it's beautiful, right? But is it just like made of wood or is it some kind of special?
I'm gonna say it's some kind of marble, some
Ah,
kind of like stone. Well, if not marble, then like some other kind of malleable, like shapeable stone that
okay.
will allow. I mean, again, it's again streaked, faded, and then tinged a little green from moss. So
All right. Well, the original plan was to try to burn it down if it was wood, so that's out the window. I mean, maybe you'll just see him kind of like, like furiously just smacking at parts to try to chip it. Like, yeah, it's in vain. He's really trying to pass time until Ifori shows back up.
So, just as a recap, Jonathan, yeah, Ifori has run off because Ifori thought she heard her brother. Oh boy, and Sibyl is shell shocked still, like kind of like in dread, but with Revel right now at the gazebo, and seems like Revel's trying to go completely mad in breaking this thing. What do you do?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Um. Oh. Is it possible to say that Sybil tried to run after Ifori and like we could and retcon it
Yeah,
that
sure.
that Sibil's chasing after Ifori, and in which case, could we maybe shift the camera to Ifori? That work?
Okay. All right. So we'll head to Euphoria, and then I'm gonna see where you end up, Sybil, when you're trying to chase after her. Okay. So Euphoria, you're running around and you're trying to chase after your brother. So, I think it's risky. These hedges are sharp. They're completely choked with brambles. I
Yeah,
think
that's
in your
true.
I think in your wandering, like, you'll see in passing deep inside one hedge, like it's almost like the thorns have and brambles have kind of like twisted to make some kind of like decorative window into the center of a hedge, and deep within it is a vibrant blue flower out of nowhere. It's just in the middle of this tangle.
Okay. Well, I I'm not even slowing down to like hack through them. I think I'm just so focused on getting to him.
Yeah.
And
Come
yeah.
and get me, Fori.
Yeah, and I think in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's not what he was like the last time. So, or like that's not how he was like in general, but that's like, but my need to get to him is kind of just
Yeah.
distracting me from that thought.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Obsession. Obsession. So risky. So what do we think will go wrong as Euphoria is just tearing through the hedge maze as it is right now? You're gonna get caught by the brambles. That's my thought, and they're gonna hurt.
I feel like the bad thing is that this is not my brother, and I catch up to them.
Or the other bad thing could be it is your brother, but
Changed a little.
Well, if mm,
mm,
yeah,
mm,
that would also be bad.
okay. So now let's gather some dice. Pardon. First light die for skill that you can use or a piece of equipment that you can use towards chasing after him. Um, what do you think?
I guess it could either be trails or secrets.
I'll take either one. Absolutely. Now, dark die, of course, because it's risking. Actually, I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. Risking mind for the fact that he's here for some weird reason,
Yeah,
or body because you're tearing through these hedges that are extremely dangerous at the moment. Okay?
yeah.
So either way, that you just get the one dark die. And
Mm-hmm.
then second light die to increase your odds of success comes from a devil's bargain. What do we think will happen to Ifori no matter what? Regardless of how they roll.
I have a pitch. I have and this is, I guess, I'm kind of pitching it to Jonathan because this one would be that Sybil finds Ifori like in a moment or in a state of weakness or vulnerability. Like that would definitely be a devil's bargain for Ifori.
Oh my.
That sounds good
But
to
then,
me.
okay, but also,
But it's up to you if you want to take that as your devil's
y-
bargain,
y-
because it's your devil's bargain, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I wanted to see if that's something that might be interesting to you. But I'm also happy
Mm.
to hear other devil's bargains.
I think no matter what, I think, with the way you're tearing through the hedge, you're getting the attention of something that you don't want.
Hmm.
Yeah. Something is chasing you.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
While I'm
That's my
chasing
DB.
someone.
Yes, exactly.
And while someone's chasing you, someone and something is both chasing you.
It's just, just
There's a
it's like
line. It's like a
Let's
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
really
Yeah, it's
dig
like
into
Scooby-Doo.
double down on the theme of this incursion, which is pursuit. Okay. Got it. Triple down. Triple down.
God.
And speaking of doubling down, I'll back up Mad's doubles bargain. So I guess you have one less to choose from.
Is that how this works?
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to take any. You pick one of them, or you don't take any. In which case, you don't get that second light die. So that's your choice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what is more interesting for everyone because like mine is fun for the two characters, Ifori and Sibyl. But
There's something going on between Ifori and Sibil, and I'm just gonna star that shit right now because oh my god.
yeah.
A little ship there.
It's
Anyway.
definitely interesting.
Yeah.
In a very weird way, but yes.
A ship or
And whatever.
yeah, but
I have another one if you wanna just if you're open
throw
to
it
it.
into the mix. Do it.
That a storm is brewing and that it's going to hit regardless of, and the longer we stay out here, the worse it's going to be for us.
I love it. I love
Gonna be
that so much
miserable.
because that's everybody, not just you. Oh man. Oh, great one. Awesome one. Star
It's
that.
true. That could be fun. Then we can see how Revel
And
reacts
you
to
can
it.
take more than one. We've established this
We've
last
established
episode.
that
Oh
you
my
can
gosh,
take as
yeah, I
many as
forgot
you
about
You
Oh,
that.
can
yes,
take
that's
more
Matt's
than
favorite.
one. Yes, it is. Like you can take more than one. You only get the one extra light die though.
Yeah, I
So whatever
think
you
I'm
want.
gonna take the storm one because
Okay.
again, that'll be a cool thing for
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
to interact with.
Sure.
And then I will also go with the one that I pitched. Because I like the flip in power dynamics. So
Sibyl is chasing after
Sibyl,
you.
yeah. And then Sibyl will find if we're in some kind of, I don't know,
Ifori weakened, vulnerable.
weekend and or vulnerable. I'll come up with something.
Oh my
Or
god, I can
maybe
imagine
depending
the
on the
scene.
dice roll. Mads, you can also
I know it's gonna be so much fun. Okay, sorry. 2 light, 1 dark, please, for risk roll.
that flip. I love that. Oh no.
Oh! Rolled a 3. You can add a dark die and re-roll. So 2 light, 2 dark. If you want to risk it for a biscuit to get better.
Let me see. What is my ruin?
You're at 4.
Is it 4? Yeah, why not? And alternatively, Sibyl could also help me.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Would that work with the Devil's Bargain?
Well, Devil's Bargain happens no matter what. Period.
Yeah. So I could, yeah. Would
The help.
would Ifori accept the help? Like, so we could say that Sibyl arrives just in time to help in some way.
Okay.
How would Sibyl help you? Because you're trying to capture this soul that you've seen or ghost or
Have no
essence.
idea, yeah.
Yeah. So how could Sibyl help with that?
But
I think
okay,
like
first Ifori has to accept your offer, and then when Ifori does, then you would mention, Sibyl, how you expose yourself to danger before rolling the light die.
okay, so I do accept, and I think an easy way for you to like if we're just narrative positioning
Mhm.
for Sybil to help, is just that Ifori's clothing can get caught, right? Like on the various thorns.
Yep.
And like if Sybil just helps Ifori with that, that's a very straightforward kind of thing.
Right. But I mean, like, how do you feel that you're getting exposed to danger, Sybil, by helping?
Well, I think how about this? So Ifori is trying to desperately reach after this soul, this of what who may or may not be um their brother,
Hmm.
and um gets caught in the hedge, and the soul, seeing that Ifori is like stuck and frantically trying to break free,
Hmm.
instead of running away, stops and turns and starts advancing on Ifori in this kind of vulnerable state.
Hmm.
To what end, we don't know. But Sibyl arrives on and sees. Can Sibyl see the soul, or is this just something that Ifori can see?
Good question. Not sure.
What do you think, Ifori?
Oh, wait, I get to decide?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
um, I think it makes more sense if you can see it too,
Okay.
Okay.
for him.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay, but I'm gonna say this.
so
How about this? How about this? So depending on how you roll, um, for this help, if you get ruin, I'm gonna say that it is not. You do not see the same person that Euphoria sees.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Because I was going to say and I was going to say that the danger is that whatever this soul was going to do to Ifori as it was advancing on them could Sybil risks it happening to to them as well.
Absolutely. Yes, I like that. Okay,
Cool.
so go ahead and roll one light die for help. Yep.
Okay. Pull up the dice. It's not a hunt roll. It's just a standard roll.
There's a help.
Oh, there's a help. There's a help. Amazing. Roll help. Oh no.
If this matches any dark die, their ruin goes up by
Oh,
one.
that's perfect.
You just rolled
I
a
did. I
raise a
really
ruin.
did.
Holy crap. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna say you see this soul. You're trying to help. You
Yeah.
see Ifori caught in the hedges. I mean, if we want to kind of like weirdly retcon this a little bit to make it like a little bit more confusing, if you want to re-roll that whole thing with too light, too dark. Okay, you totally
Oh,
can.
oh, I could still do that.
Yes.
Oh,
Basically, this is Sybil being helpful. So you would add the two
Or
light,
not.
but this or not. But I mean, like, yes, you yourself, Ifori, can roll with too light, too dark.
sure. This is so funny. I have to.
Oh.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Okay, all right. So Euphoria rolled a 6 dark, and everything else came out twos. If this is
Yeah.
higher than your ruin goes up by 1. Oh my god. Okay, so Sybil, tell me, tell me how your ruin goes up. What you see? Not Teoden, not Euphoria's brother. Tell me what you see
Hmm.
to make you get messed up. And Ifori, tell me what you see, sense, or envision that makes you messed up. Well, even further into the forest. Boy, I really tried to help. I really tried with Mini Heartfire. Funny.
So I should have taken that extra troll's blood, but anyway. Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
um, Sybil first.
Okay. Um, oh, Okay. So I think the audience sees the face on the soul change
Yes.
as we see, and it changes to um and it's clearly a woman, um but and of similar age to um Sibyl. Um but we do, and you hear Sibyl gasp, um and is more desperate in as they're trying to free Ifori from the branches, because like Sibyl's raced up, like seeing this happen, seeing Ifori desperately trying to get to, free, but go towards this spirit, and Sibyl like is trying to untangle, and it's like, Ifori, no, Ifori, um, and looks up and sees this thing advancing on Sibyl and gasps, and see it reach out towards Sibyl, and we don't know, like the audience doesn't know who it is, right?
Right.
I suspect, but we'll find we but we'll find out.
Do they say anything to you? It may not match
Oh,
what Ifori hears, but what does this person say to Sibyl?
it says, "You were wrong. We weren't safe." And like you see Sibyl's eyes go wide, and like is and yeah, is trying to free Ifori, and maybe starts to back away.
Yeah. Um, Sibyl, I'm gonna say a condition that you get is revenant. Ifori, you get caught up by the hedges as you're trying to chase after Teoden, but they're right there. You get caught up in the hedges, you're tangled up, and then you're barely aware that Sibyl has come up and is trying to help free you, but your brother is advancing. What do you see, sense, or envision that sinks you deeper into the forest's clutches?
Okay. So do I succeed in killing him with the 6?
You want to make that real dark? Sure. If that's part of like your ruin.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And
So
I
maybe
feel
this
like,
part happens because if that happens, then basically it happens after Sybil sees them come
yes,
forward and say whatever they say, but you don't hear it that way. You don't see
yes,
what Sybil sees. Go ahead.
yeah. I I I'm gonna say that my sword hand is what is caught in the, like, caught with the brambles,
Yeah.
or yeah, the thorns. And then so I draw or I switch my sword to my other hand, and
Yeah.
I'm not as good with it because it's not my dominant hand. And but I it's a hooked sickle sword. Every time I think about it, I'm like, why did I choose this? Um and I think I get him in the throat, and just like tear it out with the hook part of the sickle sword. But then after I do that, and like I get like sprayed with his blood like on my face,
Mm-hmm.
um, then he speaks to me.
What does he
Um,
say?
I think what he says is, like this is when he seems like the brother that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Please, Ifori, you have been going down the false path. You are a heretic. There is no um what is it called? There is no Emerald Bridge." And then so yeah, that's what brings me closer to ruin, to the forest.
Nice, 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 nice. Sybil, you don't see that. You don't see this person. You know that this person is dead, or has fallen under Ifori's sword. And I think Revel, this is when you rock up, in your old man shuffle, and you see Sybil, like, probably paler than pale as of what they've seen, but you think it's because of Ifori, who is half tangled in the brambles, but yet holds a dripping sickle sword that has cut down this person in front of them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like an audible gasp. That's pretty much the only reason you know that he's showed up.
Yeah. And you don't recognize this person whatsoever, Revel. You know? Actually, what you do end up seeing when you finally get close enough to get a handle on this person, you see a gash, like, all the way from the edge of their jaw all the way down, maybe halfway down the chest. And of course, it's pulsing blood. However, this person is not completely human. Like, the head looks like it was in the middle of some sort of feral transformation. And the body has some fur on it, not all over, not fully thickened or whatever, but you definitely see signs of it. And I think you will see, as the other two are looking at whatever they see, you can tell they're not quite here, even though they're physically here. You see in the gash, you see something peeking out, kind of glowing a little pink red, as if it's hot, and the glisten of muscle, but it's still beating. And it looks like it's surrounded by thorns? What do you do?
So are those two just kind of frozen in place,
Yeah,
or
yeah. It's like this very odd and horrible tableau.
okay?
Because, like, the blood is splattered on Ifori's face, just kind of like stuck there, half in the brambles, but the sword is free and glistening and dripping with blood. This being's blood in front of her.
I think he would before he would put himself anywhere near that, whether it's dead or not, or dying, he would try to like shake his new companions first. Like, come on, come on.
Um, I mean, if you shake Ifori, Ifori will snap out of it and spin around. And I think this is probably the moment that Ifori will tear free from the Revel. And I think it's basically just like the their sleeves just like torn off at this point. And they'll hold, they'll hold their sword to Revel's throat
Yeah, he'll just
before
he'll put his hands up. He's like, "Oh, no, no, none of that."
and then they blink. Like, and when they blink, it's like the blood on their eyelashes just like drips down. Um, and they'll lower their sword.
Yes, well, you seem to have killed it, whatever it was. And he kind of points down to the glowing thing, like he's not gonna root around himself, but he's like, there's something in there. It's kind of how he's talking to you. In case you want it. There's a right down in there.
Sybil, I think you might have distantly heard Revel's voice. You know, kind
Oh
of like,
yeah, I figured I was kind of shaking both, like going to both of
okay,
them.
both of them. Okay,
Hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Gosh, what does Sybil do in this moment?
Well, you were
Um,
definitely seeing some something something. That's for sure. But
yeah,
like now,
yeah.
Revel's waking you guys up a bit. Yeah. What do you do? I mean, you probably do wake up in time to see Ifori like threaten him, and then like he gets him to calm the hell
Yeah,
down. You know.
yeah. I think Sybil's still a bit in shock, like, um, and it like and doesn't respond, doesn't react when Ifori like holds the blade to Revel's throat. Um, but when Revel like when um Ifori lets him go, and he points out the to the body,
Mhm.
and Sybil sees it there like for the first time because but that's not what Sybil saw
Right.
before. Um, Sybil's just looking at it like and and bends down and looks up at Ifori. And what does Sybil see? And also, how are you vulnerable to Sybil, like in as part of that devil's bargain? Was that did you want to add anything
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I'll definitely add. Um, I guess my question is this face that is half transformed,
Hmm.
does it still resemble Euphoria's brother?
Yeah. I think that would add to the ruin a little bit.
Yeah. And Euphoria will run her hand down her face and it just like smears the blood down. Um, and then she flicks it away and slowly crouches down to her brother's body. And what Sybil sees is Ifori looking lost and grieving for, yeah, and in that moment, like as as she reaches out to close the eyes of of this body.
And Sybil very slowly um, reaches out um, their hand and puts it on Ifori's shoulder. And we can leave it there for the moment, or we can like if you want, because we're getting close to 12 o'clock, or we can continue. It's up to you, you guys.
I don't know. Mads.
I mean, like we can go like just to finish out this particular scene here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do rituals work?
How do rituals work?
Yeah,
You perform a ritual. It's risky because
right.
magic is pretty deadly in this system. in this world.
Yeah.
So, you would perform a ritual using your skills or whatever, and it automatically gets you a dark die, for sure.
Okay.
It's
What are you
basically a
trying to
risk
accomplish?
roll,
Yeah,
more or
it is a
less.
It's a risk
yeah.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah. With
I see.
inherent, you still have to have some sort of skill to kind of push through what you want to get out of the ritual. You get the dark die for doing the ritual because it's dangerous and risky, and then you get a second light die if you accept devil's bargain in the midst of doing the ritual. So, what are you trying to
Okay.
accomplish?
Do you want to do
Yeah,
a
I'm
ritual?
thinking. um, has Ifori got a condition from this latest thing, or is
Oh
this
yeah.
not a condition?
Oh yeah. Mats? I think I did get another one, right? Yeah, because I'm at 5.
Yes. Did I give you a condition yet? I don't know. Hold on.
No, because
Oh,
right now I have
yeah, because I
my
didn't get a chance to. You just mentioned like how you killed your brother, and it
yeah.
was kind of ruinous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a little something something, okay? Cause right, I think even as you put the gash in your brother's neck and chest, I don't think you realized it until the end, especially because like, the blood gushed out at you. I think that you didn't realize, but he put his hand paw on you, and you have scratches that you didn't even realize that you got. And so those scratches are having little hairs grow out of them. So you too can take Beast Bitten Kiss.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll.
Close. I'm so sorry. Oh God. Just looking
Well,
at
I
this.
think I'm going to do like, so I think Sibyl starts muttering as they're with like as they're like, and words that you can't really understand, that don't really make sense, with their hand on your shoulder. And it starts to like, can rituals fail, or is it just or
Well,
I'm assuming they
yes,
kind of can.
something will
Yeah.
like unintended consequence or collateral damage or however the hell we want to interpret it. I mean, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, one is a one, right? You fail. So I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
one or two is a fail. Or I could
Yeah.
get you succeed and it gets just really terrible later,
Yeah.
which is also a possibility. So,
So I think euphoria, you start to like, I don't know if you even register or if you can hear Sybil's whispers with their hand on your shoulder, but certainly feel, it feels like, you know, warm blood kind of spreading from underneath their hand through your body. Like, that feeling of like, as if, the feeling of warm blood on your skin, and it feels like that as it's running and dripping from their hand. Um, and moving, yeah. So, and now I'll make a roll to do the ritual martyr in an attempt to take the bit and kiss onto condition onto myself.
okay, wait a second. Before you do that, um, so what do we think will go wrong? You
Yeah.
fail the
What do we
ritual,
think will go
and
wrong? Yeah.
it's not gonna transfer the conditions to you. It's going to, what's the word? Hold on. Transfer the conditions to you. Whatever conditions you have, you will transfer it over to Ifori, which also gives them Piper's memory, Center of Suffering, Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all sorts of stuff. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
Sybil
only
could
taking?
die here. Like, Let me just
Yeah,
put it out there. Sibil's got a lot of conditions already. And he's
are
on
you
5 ruin.
taking just one condition, or because it says to transfer their conditions to you? If you're
Yeah.
only taking one, then that means that the thing that could go wrong is that you could end up taking all of them.
Well, that's a good one too. I was kind of hoping that we could just do one because Sibyl has a lot already. But if we can, if it's all, we can do all. I'm like, I'm happy
We'll
with
see how
that.
bad it gets. Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
I think conditions are not like health though, so
No,
that's
they're not.
ruin.
Well,
No.
I
but
think
So
that
you can just take on however.
if you have over a certain amount, I don't know if the book calls this out, but if you have over a certain
Doesn't-
amount, you would gain ruin instead of a new condition.
well,
on
okay.
purpose.
So hold on. I have not seen that rule. I can't confirm
I'll
that
try to
because
find something.
please. But I will say, like, if it just goes over the edge, you're gonna hit 6. Oh my god. So either way, it just seems way too close. But anyhow, if you're gonna go through with this crazy action, I'm just saying, let's build the die like we normally would, okay? Just to see. Light die, skill,
Yeah.
piece of equipment. What do you got for the light die?
Well, does the ritual count? Like having the ritual,
Yes,
like
so
as
you
a
would still do a
listed.
regular risk roll, yes,
Yeah.
to do this. I mean, if you don't have a skill or piece of equipment, then you wouldn't have that first light die.
Right. So this is for a second light die.
No, this is the first light die, just for the
Okay,
like
yeah.
you have skill or piece of equipment,
Okay. So it's just a skill or a piece of equipment.
or parlay your occupation background, in some way outside of the skill set to say
well, it certainly relates to the drive, like to
I'll take
free
it.
the kindly followers of the Piper.
You know what? I love it. I love it. So you get that first light die. It's
Yeah.
always a risk when you do rituals. So this will definitely be a risk to your body for sure. Possibly mind. We'll see. And then
Yeah.
that second light die comes from a devil's bargain. Oh my god, like we haven't seen enough. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What would happen no matter what if Sibyl survives this roll? No matter.
I think I have something right out of the gate. I think that no
Yeah.
matter what, at least part of you is going to start transforming from taking on too much
Yes!
of the beast bitten.
I got nothing. I love that. Love that.
Yeah, taking that.
I back that
for
up.
sure. Yeah.
Body horror. Okay, so 2 light, 1 dark, please. On doing this ritual
Yeah.
of martyr.
Nice one.
Holy
Okay.
crap. Holy crap.
Where is the ritual roll?
Oh,
it's
risk,
just a
risk,
risk roll.
Just risk, yeah.
Risk.
Yeah,
2 light,
yeah,
1
yeah.
dark.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
All right. Just the 1 dark, not 2? Okay.
Right.
Cool.
1 dark.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. It feels like a 2 dark kind of roll, like, but just
Don't
from
ask
what
for
the
more
stakes-
trouble. Wait until it.
No, I don't want more trouble. No, I want Sibyl to survive, but this is going to be.
This is on the
interesting. All right.
edge. Are you?
you ready?
Oh my
This is
god.
right on the
Yes.
edge.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Jesus. 2 light, 1 dark.
3, 2, 1, roll. Yes.
Holy shit. Okay, rolled a 5. You can risk it for a biscuit if you want. You can add a dark die and reroll 2 light 5s and a 3 dark. So you could conceivably add a dark die, get a little bit better. You don't have to, but you could.
No,
5
I
is
like
5
the
is great
complication.
with a
Yeah.
complication. Exactly.
Yeah, I like the
which
complication. Yeah, no, that
already
sounds
the
good.
complication is that you are going to be changing,
Yeah.
Okay. And I like it does say transfer their conditions to you, but I'll feel sorry for you at this moment. I'm a softie. It's fine. So, but if you take double beast bitten kiss, you're gonna change. So I want to hear. I want to hear how you change further.
Oh, that's. Well, I think
Like you feel like you've dripped the ritual blood, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
So
into Ifori, but now you're drawing it out of her. So what does this feel like and what does this look like?
Yeah, so I think I think Revel doesn't see like anything to that like that doesn't like there's no obvious manifestation of the ritual like other than Sibyl, murmuring this gibberish, um, or whispering this gibberish. That I think that the wind starts to pick up though around them as the rain kind of starts, a few drops of rain start to fall, and it seems to happen just as Sibyl's doing it, and Sibyl seems unaware of this, and their eyes are closed. And Ifori, I think you feel like this warmth spreading through you, and it kind of and with your permission, um, I'd like to take the beast in condition as well as the unrepentant sibling, like taunting, and you as it floods through you, it kind of like feels warm. You're filled with this warmth, and then it starts to ebb, and you it's as if this beast, this the feeling, the hair from the cut starts to recede and fade away,
Yeah.
and that feeling of I don't know, how did Ifori feel about this condition? Like what was that feeling that the condition left in you of, because that is now gone. It's just taken away,
You don't
and
feel the
you feel
corruption
its
anymore.
absence. Yeah, you don't feel that anymore. But how were you feeling about it?
I think it was kind of like a rage and fear, like very animalistic
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah. And
I
that's kind of like that's gone. You notice that feeling as feels like it's been sucked out of you as the warmth leaves you. And um what do you do? Because
Yeah,
I'll
Ifori,
describe, yeah.
yeah. Ifori stands abruptly. Um like I feel like she did notice a Sibyl like touching their shoulder because they seem to be very sensitive to touch. But they in their moment of vulnerability did not pull away, and then like hears this and then starts feeling all these different sensations. And when they realize what is happening, that's when they stand up and they spin around to look at Sybil. And they actually grab Sybil by the shoulders. Um and she'll say, oh, what does she say? What did you do?
Okay, I'm going to
And
add one more thing to this whole thing before you tell us how you change Sybil. I'm going to say you also take on Osto's perfect face. So now Ifori does
oh
not remember
no.
that. Ifori does
Okay.
not remember that, but you now do.
Okay, cool. That's
So
awesome, actually. Yeah.
you
I
have the
wanted to, I
vision
didn't
of
want to take that from me. I didn't want to take that from
no,
Agatha because, or from
no.
Osto, but if you give it to me, I'll
Oh,
take it.
no, Mads, don't take it from me. Ifori wants
Okay,
to cut Osto's perfect face.
well,
What am
okay
I gonna
then.
do? I
Okay,
don't
so then,
remember that.
all right. So let's change that just slightly. So you keep it, but
But I
now
get it as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sybil shares it. So now
Yeah.
Sybil also knows what's behind that
That's
hair.
awesome. Is that
Yay.
cool? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
long as
that's
Uh,
she
fine.
like, so long as like she kept it, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, you
Yeah.
also take Osto's perfect face.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh
We can just
man.
so,
copy and paste
so
my condition.
yeah. So
Okay, so
you so Ifori grabs Sybil by the shoulders, and Revel sees them do this, and
storm starts to like, the
yeah,
thunder like vibrates in the air, and then there's a
perfect.
flash of lightning, and as the flash of lightning happens, we see the
Sybil
changes.
screams. Sybil screams
We see
like
that
in Ifori's arms, and the scream is starts high pitched, and then it starts, just like, and throws their head back, looking up at the rain, and is screaming, and then the scream turns into like a howl, and as like these hair starts to spread on their face and on their over their body. And I think that's probably a good point to stop.
That's probably a good point. Yeah. And like we see we see the shot from above as like the rain comes down storming on all of you, and like the flashes of lightning just kind of like accentuate the howling face of Sibil changing, and Ifori. It's like you've got like the look of like, what did you do? What did you do? Shock and like almost like horrified surprise maybe. And then Revel, you're just looking upon this, and what is the expression on your face as the rain like uh just beats down on your face, and you're seeing these two in this weird.
Oh yeah, he is 100% terrified.
Yeah,
He started it like, oh, more people to help me out, and he's like, what the fuck did I get myself into following these
exactly.
people in here?
Yep, and that's where we're gonna end off for today. Jeez. So, all right. So we are in the Hedge Maze. Welcome. Uh, close out the session. Hopefully, like Chris will be able to join us next time to bring Osto back into the fold. God knows. Oh my God. So, stars and wishes. You know the drill. Anything about you appreciated with the gameplay, role play each other, and what you wish for the future.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool to see Agatha and Jonathan, both of you guys, play off of each other so well in the first. It made it really easy to kind of come into, something to play off of. And both of you, a star for both of you for being so willing to. It almost feels like Trophy Dark. That's how everybody
Yes.
is just so okay with
Yes.
everything
So
going terribly, and that's how I play too. I'm usually totally fine. My characters are bound to die, so I'm happy to find my way to death, basically. And big star for Mads. I haven't got to play with you as a GM for a while, but it was always so amazing, and it continues to be so amazing. Character at the beginning was great, and yeah, I can't wait to actually get to the Huntsman's Manor that I keep hearing so much about, but I haven't made it to yet. I'm so
no,
excited.
no. Well, we're all just like deep in our own bullshit, and it's great. I love it. You
Yeah,
guys
just
are
figuring
wonderful.
figuring shit out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
super
exactly.
excited.
And by the way, it's like you are the most normal character at the moment. It's like,
Yes, yes. He's got his own problems. Not
right.
but he's not like he's changing into anything yet, so he's fine. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Any other stars and wishes? Whoever wants to go next.
Okay, I'll
I
go.
can. Oh,
I was hoping you go first, Agatha.
The online game
I'm still
thing.
kind of like, yeah, I'm still processing the last scene, but that was awesome.
So amazing.
So Stars and Wishes, Billy, it's great to play with you. This is the first time we played together, and it's really awesome to have you. I love Revel. It's such a good foil, like as well too. Like a good contrast, not foil. Contrast is a better word. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Revel and how Revel's drives come into play and more of Revel's character next session. So that's my wish. Um, and I'm and stars for what you've already given us so far. Like I love the all the character quirks and traits that you've brought that's not on the character sheet that you've brought into already, like the snoring and the old man shuffle and all that stuff is really great. That's gold, and I think that's what helps bring that contrast to these two other crazy and irresponsible characters. So thank you for that, and a star to Agatha for like just going hell for leather with with Ifori into this into this heretical, sadistic kind of vibe that we've got going, and I'm really enjoying playing off of it and exploring Sibil's interactions with that and the tension between the two characters, which is great. And really, yeah. So star for that. I'm sure there was a ton of stuff that of specific moments, but they escape me right now. And I'll watch the video again, afterwards again. But like there were lots in there, so thank you. And staff Mads, yeah, lots of like really good devil's bargains and really good like the taking the Ostos perfect face at the end there was brilliant. The stuff with the spirit for the soul for with Ifori. Lots of really good stuff. More, please, more. It's good. And yeah, I think that's my wish for. I'm sorry that I didn't get to you didn't get to use the whip on Sibil Ifori. That yeah, we'll save that for next session maybe. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's me for stars and wishes.
Nice.
Yeah. I will echo the star for Billy. Yeah, this is also our first time playing together, and that was really cool. I think yeah, you came in with a very strong character, and so it was also easy, I think, for uh like for me to try to like play off of. I mean, I didn't do too much of it because I was really getting trying to do resolve some of the things with both Ifori and Sibil, and then also then with the brother. I was just like, of course this is the thing that Ifori would get obsessed over. But it was like I really like all of the character moments, and I also like that Revel is also kind of like, like has their own thing that they're obsessive over. And I liked getting the glimpse of that. So it's just like everybody. It's a bunch of freaks, and I love that about this group of characters. Yeah, I've never played Trophy Gold before this, so I only know how to play it in a Trophy Dark way, which I think is showing. Um, but yeah, this was very fun. Star to you, Mads, for coming up with the like hearth, like bringing the hearth thing to our short run, and then also like making it a whole like narrative thing. I thought that was really fun, like asking for secrets that just felt very tonally um uh it made sense, and it really enhanced the tone. I feel like this whole game is just so campy, and I love it. um yeah, big star to you, Jonathan, for playing into I don't know into this weird dynamic. I like the push and pull. I guess it is a ship. A toxic ship. I did it.
Agatha's
And
bingo card. Toxic shipping.
yeah, check it off. And I yeah, I'm so curious as to what happens now, like, because this is a very big change in their relationship, short as it was. And I'm like, but if we're an asshole, how do I deal with it? So I think my wish is like to figure that out. Because I haven't thought about, a lot of nuance outside of the series of tropes. Um, and then I think my other wish is kind of also, yeah, to interact with Revel more. I think a more specific wish that goes along with that is like maybe like some things, like some more maybe like personality or like plot hooks that Ifori can latch onto, like with Revel specifically. I know this is just your first session, like, and you're also playing to find out about Revel, Billy. But like, I think that would be fun. Like, I'm not sure how to like have the interactions, more interactions. So that's something that I would appreciate if that's something that you are also interested in coming up with, Billy. So yeah, that's my wish and my stars.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I've got some random stars like that I kept on starring, like coming up with the toll for the Emerald Bridge being the souls of 100 unrepentants. Oh man, and then the storm devil's bargain, that was brilliant. And then you know the different things that you had the spirit entity, whatever the hell it is, or person say at the end, like you were wrong, we weren't safe, and then the whole thing about you're being a heretic. There is no Emerald Bridge. What? What do you mean there's no Emerald Bridge? I don't understand what's going on. What? So I'm like, I want to find out more. And that's why we play, because we want to find out more. And I love it, the fact that you're all pushing your narratives and then like trying to get through and then see, yeah, like, will you reach your drive? Is it dangerous? Will there be consequence? I don't know. We'll find out. And then like, I'm gonna be pushing Revel more about like this whole thing about it can't just be because like he has a thing against rich guys. You know what I mean? It's like there's a personal reason somewhere, and I need to know why. I need to know what that is. So I can't wait. I mean, and I love your little character moments dealing with like Mother Merryeye, and then like also like with like your reactions to finding certain things and then dealing with the others. I mean, like it was a whole big reaction piece. So if this was Trophy Dark, you'd be ruining all over the place because you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it isn't. And I do love Trophy Gold for the differences from Trophy Dark, even though, I mean, my first Trophy Gold that I was running was Crimson Spire, which is more surreal rather than horrible. And then I ran Hissing Darkness, which is all about space horror. So definitely Trophy Gold, but in the vein of Trophy Dark. It was great. So we're just continuing on my plug to do this, right? I mean, like it's all the same world. It's all good. Like Desperate or Doomed, it doesn't matter. It's all got that flavor, and I love it. I love what you guys are doing with this. Let me see. Okay. And then yeah. So, I mean, again, echoing all the stars like people have said already for the characters. These characters are so good. And like the ship, I mean, like, there's some electricity going on there. Jesus, I wasn't suspecting it until you got to that moment where you asked to taste Sibil's blood, and I'm like, hello there? What? Yeah.
And
So
then I got
wishes.
rejected. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So anyway, wish to see more of that, to see where it's gonna go, because you two are freaking 5 ruin. 6 is when you're lost. I don't know.
Give us another hearth.
No. The other group only got 1 hearth fire. Okay, mini hearth fire. So you only get this one. Although I will offer it to Osto, because like Osto's got to find his way back to you all. And by then, I mean Ifori and Sibil could be donezo. I don't know. God, I'm so.
Well, there's a good chance he might not recognize Sibil as much
Oh, that's
when he gets back.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh no, what if he turns
Oh.
out that he thinks that Sibil is one of the creatures in the garden?
Oh.
Oh
Well,
shit.
well, Sibyl hasn't gone.
No,
I don't know,
not-
we'll see,
not
but I
completely.
don't think it's not fully like
Not
Sibyl's
fully.
not full wolf yet.
Yeah.
Not fully.
Oh, yeah. Jonathan, you should think about how you want the whip to be used. Chekhov's whip.
Chekhov's whip. Oh,
Yeah.
Only
okay, star for
TTRPGs
that.
give such cool homework in between sessions.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously, you guys have to discuss how you want to like figure this
Yeah.
where you're aiming for, right? It's like, you brought the whip in the beginning, now you got to figure out how you're going to like, set it
Mhm.
off at like near your end, right?
Mhm.
So I don't normally say this, but just in case, have a random character picked out for next time, just in case we have to be like, well, you meet 2 friends in the house whenever you get in there, because something happens to Sibil and Ifori.
Hello, fellow treasure hunter. It is
Hello,
me,
treasure
also the treasure hunter.
Oh my God.
I'm just hanging out in here. I got through that maze, no problem.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, where'd you come from? It's like, I came in through this entrance.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
I already have I have an idea for that, actually.
For a new character or for Sibil?
You're way ahead of me.
For a new character.
Okay.
Not a character, but for a reason for them to be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're all hunting for treasure. You all found out about, like, some shit that could be in the house.
Yeah. You could just be just random treasure, but I have something specific.
Okay. I can't wait to see that too. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for these characters.
But I want Sibil to make it. Like Sibil.
I know. They're so strange and oh man.
Yeah, how many more?
Dare I say, wait. Dare I say sexy? Because I don't know what happened, but something between Sibil and Ifori were just like, what is going on here? I'm hot.
There's definitely something. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So we should have 4 more sessions after this.
4 more sessions.
Because I usually build it on how many sets are in the incursion. We might be eliding over the one of them because of, like I was saying about like the whole like cannibalism thing, like just kind of like cutting that off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to mention it because it is, there's definite mention of that in that particular set.
They're not making it.
I know, with the way you guys are playing right now, it's like, it ain't gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna make it through all 5 sets that I was planning. So it's fine. This is a part of the adventure. Wherever we end at the 6th session, that's where we end. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. And I'm sure that there is always the option of like, maybe, hold on. Let me look at everybody's stuff. No, basically Sibil would be in debt anyway, even with trading in a hunt token. Ifori, you could conceivably make it with like getting out of debt, but yeah, it's like you're still at 5 ruin and you wouldn't have any extra gold to take that
No,
down.
we're not leaving yet, Mads. We're not leaving.
I'm just saying if you want a little safety valve, you could leave, but then Sibil would retire anyway for just reasons of being in debt, and then before he could, but wandering around like really close.
She could?
Yeah, and once you meet your burdens, you can leave the incursion.
Oh, I can just peace out?
Yeah.
You can.
You can.
Huh.
Absolutely can. As long as you met your burdens, yeah, you're fine.
If we're just like
you could epilogue your character and then bring a new one in. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to die. You don't have to be lost in this forest. You could just peace out.
Wait a minute. I've been playing this game all wrong.
I know, right?
You don't have to die in here.
You're not as desperate as you thought. Okay, great.
Dang,
but no,
dang.
seriously. I mean, but again, like the epilogue for Euphoria would be very whiffy because enough to meet the burden, but then not enough to get rid of ruin, right? Or to kind of rest and relax, to do stuff. So you're kind of forced to push it just a little bit more for that little bit extra, and you have to pray that the extra is not going to push you over the edge, and then all that kind of stuff. So, wow, you guys are so close. Holy crap! Oh my God, it's great.
Well, we should also think about like, because it might be, especially because Osto's going to join us, we might want to trade in our hunt tokens to get to the manor. Like, that might be a good.
Yeah, I'm happy to do
I don't know.
that.
It's up to you, Mads. If
no, it's up to you.
That could be
because...
a cool place to start. Next session.
That's fine.
If we get to the manor and Osto's already there, that would be cool.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Billy,
I mean,
Billy mentioned that in the chat as well.
Yeah, my plan was.
Awesome.
Yeah, my plan was to offer Osto the same thing where he meets up with Mother Merryeye and then has the option to bring down the ruin once, by one, and then meet you guys in the house. If you decide to mechanically pull together 3 tokens to just solve the set. Okay? All right. No. We're rounding out. I was just like, just being very effusive over everybody's work today. Holy crap, I can't wait until this converts so I can send it to you. Oh, and by the way, I meant to tell you, episode 1, part 1 is going up on my channel on Friday. So, just be aware that that's going up around 11:30ish. I don't know. But yeah, I'll post it in my chat in my Discord server as well, so you guys are aware that it's up. But yeah, episode 1 is going in, and then yeah, I'll try to post these on a regular basis. Shared Hearth is going to kill me though, because it's like I'm not only going to be doing my regular videos, but I'll also be doing those as well. So kill me. It'll be great. It'll be great. I'm excited for everybody playing and enjoying their games. This one is a strange one, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, it was so much fun to play with you guys, especially
Oh.
for the first time.
Yes. So
Likewise.
wonderful. I'm so glad you guys
Yeah.
can meet. Yay! Okay, so we'll see you guys next time. Happy gaming for anything else that you're doing this whole week, and I will see you next week. All right.
Yeah. Thanks,
See ya.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.